What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another live preview. Obviously, this week it's on a Thursday because it was my birthday yesterday. Just wanted to have a chill. But thanks, everyone, for the messages. Really appreciate it. The support past year has been mad, so keep smashing the support. Hope you enjoy this one. If you do, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. And if you are watching it back on the replay, please leave your score predictions for Sunday's game in the comments. But yeah, thanks to everyone that's joined us live. We'll quickly get into it. We've got Luke in so far. But yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already. And yeah, obviously joining me tonight, we've got Neil. Neil, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You after last night?
Yeah, good. Just a chilled one, really. But yeah, big up to Sam as well, who's joined. But yeah, and big up to Harry as well. Saying Oxford get battered everywhere they go. Well, it's gonna be an interesting one. Obviously, we'll quickly get into the Harrogate game first, as we always do on the live previews. Good evening to Vaughan as well and BRFT Tom. Big up to everyone joining at the gas. Come on, says Luke. But yeah, getting into Harrogate, obviously a very, very good 1-0 win. Not many people were expecting it, but obviously managed to get the clean sheet. But obviously we had Pittman go off injured, which was very worrying. I mean, I managed to watch the game as well. I was watching it on on a site, and then someone on I think it was the Rovers appreciation page was streaming the game, so I managed to watch it on there as well. But yeah, what did you make of the game? And obviously Pittman going off injured. Obviously, hopefully that's not too bad.
The game itself, for me, that's our best performance of the season. What I said on the Wednesday, as far as what I wanted to see, we know we've got flair. We know we can do bits at the other end of the pitch, but we've never really been gritty, dogged, solid, dug in for 90 minutes. And for me, that was our best performance of the season because we looked good and we looked organised off the ball. Like without the ball in previous week, we've been terrible. We look miles, we look wide open, exposed, and all the rest of it. We look good Saturday. I mean, if you look at Armstrong and Muldoon, they've been flying, and they had nothing. They didn't have a sniff.
Yeah.
I think Belly had to make 2 stops from I don't know, about 25 yards. I think he had to smother one early from Muldoon, after about a couple of minutes. But other than that, it's pretty easy day's work for him, so to speak. But yeah, for me, best performance of the season. That as far as Pittman going off, it's probably something he's got to nurse. It might be a few weeks. It might be a couple of weeks. I don't know. But him missing Sunday, sorry, is no big deal for me. To be honest, I think I do that with plenty of them. If I'm honest, I give Barton a bit of stick last week about the way that he approached the Newport game and the way he set up and how open we were. But I mean, I didn't like it when I saw it at 2 o'clock. I thought Anderson at right back. This is another one where we're going to get exposed in areas that we're not solid.
Yeah.
And to be fair to him, to give him credit, come the Pittman injury, the easiest thing would have been to do was go like for like. We'll put Collins on. We'll leave it how it is. But credit to him, he identified something and he put Alfie on, changed it, went to wing backs, left the two up top with Thomas and Nicholson. And to be fair, if you go direct, that doesn't work. You have to play through the lines to feed them and make them worthwhile, so to speak. But we kept turning them around. I thought Harry's was brilliant with the ball. Yeah. If you looked at how we played from the back, it wasn't slow, it wasn't laboured. Once we got it, we either punched that straight into Coots, or we got it straight round the corner for Thomas and Nicholson to go and turn them around and get them facing their own goal. I mean, we were nowhere near as wide open on Saturday. It's like we had a firm pattern of what we wanted to do without the ball, and we hadn't seen that all season. So yeah, for me, best performance of the season. That.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, obviously their two main threats up front, Muldoon and Armstrong. It was crazy how they weren't even in the game. I thought, obviously, brought on Kilgore. That was a sub for Pittman. I thought he was quality. Taylor back to his best, winning everything, aerial duels. And like you said, Harry's. I think Harry's this season. I think most of the season he's done pretty well. There's been a few games where he'll have a bad game, but most of the time he looks a lot more confident in himself. I think because last season there was a lot of games where he'd been in and out of the team, but most of the time this season, when he's played, I thought he's done really well. And like you said, he brought the ball out well. Anderton as well. Obviously, he come on at halftime because of, I think Brown had a little bit of an injury, but again, obviously, scored the goal as well. Obviously, wasn't the best strike, but I'll take that, and I'm happy for him as well because he has sort of been underperforming in a few games, but I thought again, apart from a few bits because he hasn't got the pace on him. There's a few times he got took on, but most of the time he was very solid and took his goal well off his shin, Shiniesta, like he was saying, and overall, like you said, kept them at bay, and the first team to beat them, at their place this season. So hopefully now, like we've talked about after every other win, it's all about consistency now. We got some big games coming up, and that's the way we need to play, defend well. I thought, to be honest, Luke Thomas and obviously Nicholson were basically up front. I thought they'd done well. There was a few times where they, even other players, if they made the right pass, we could have scored a few more goals as well. But overall, you can't moan. 3 points, clean sheet against a really good team, and like we said, all we want now is consistency. I
thought second half they were brilliant, especially when we nicked the goal. I thought we game managed it brilliantly, and that's what we've been lacking. When we go in front, we don't look like we know whether to stick or twist a lot of the time. We sort of get caught between what we're going to do, and we never really managed it out. We never really managed games out very well. Mm-hmm. But Saturday, I thought Whelan and Coots and then marshalled it really well, to be honest. Coots was sloppy first half, to be honest. He was really sloppy, but very. Second half, I thought what you get from Coots, even if he's not great, he manages when he's on there, if you know what I mean. He pulls people in, he gets people where they need to be, and he game manages it well. I thought him and Whelan there were good second half. Yeah. And they had a go, but we snuffed out pretty much everything. And I think it's one of them where you can sort of see why Harrogate are where they are in the league, but we sort of edged them in every department. Everything that they did, we did a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, like you said, Coots having a poor first half. Harry Jenkins said Coots had a stinker. Yeah, I thought first half he was really poor and kept giving the ball away. But I think like the more the game went on, obviously him and I thought Whelan was excellent. Does it simple, but that's all you need from that position. You don't need any fancy stuff. Just keep the ball and move it, and that's what he was doing. I thought he done really well. Kept getting moving. Robert Brailsford says Pittman was injured in the pre-match warm-up. Well, I mean, to be honest, I thought, Pittman, obviously give it a go, see what happens, but obviously, hopefully, it isn't that bad. Hopefully, it's nothing major. Luke Hobbs saying gas invasion. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if it's Pell on the day or not. I think we sold like 700 before.
They've opened it up for Pell on the day. They have done.
Right. So probably should be over 1,000 then. Mitch saying let Coots go home. Yeah, I think a lot of people. But if Barber was on tonight, he'd be saying that he hates him. I don't remember the last time I saw this much communication between players. I mean, that's all it is. I think Coots and especially Whelan has helped that a lot, and you've seen as well other players, helping, and that's all you got to do when it's like that. As much talking and communication because it helps a lot. If you ain't got anyone talking or, talking people through the game or, telling them to slow it down or where to play it, then you're going to play bad. If the more communication, the better, really. GHS says Luke Hobbs. Vaughan says, how did Harrogate defender? Yeah, I know. I think it was Lewis Page, the ex-Charlton and Exeter defender. Yeah. That was mad. That was a mad clearance and fair play, quality defending. It could have been a few more. Obviously, Nicholson had that chance in the first half that just went wide. So, at the end of it, if it was a different day, it could have been 3 or 4. But I'll take anyone would take a 1-0. Yes, I'm Cornish. Big up to you, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Said he screamed in warm-up shot and pulled his groin, looked in agony and went straight to the dressing room. Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't go. I was gutted I couldn't go, but obviously if it was that bad, then yeah, he shouldn't have started. But I just hopefully it's not that bad. On a serious note, I like the way we played, more solid and willing to get stuck in. Yeah, stuck in a lot more, and hopefully now we just don't, because we've seen it in a few games where we look good defensively, then we go, into another game and just look awful. No one pressing or putting tackles in, like the Newport game. But that's how we need to play, like we did against Harrogate. Solid, everyone putting in a shift, clearing everything, because the amount of crosses they put in Harrogate, I thought we were brilliant. Everyone at the back was brilliant in the way we dealt it, and that's what we need. And hopefully that three in the middle, if he's going to play this sort of with wing backs, or if he's going to play for it at the back, then we need Alfie, Harries, and Connor Taylor hopefully to just stay fit. And because I think the more games you give them, the more they're going to get better, the more confidence they'll have. On Saturday, I think it was a fluke goal from Anderton. I mean, it wasn't the best of strikes, but I wouldn't say a fluke, because he knew what he was doing, but obviously it come off his shin. But I'll take any fan of any club would take anything. I mean, could say it was a fluke, but still very nice finish, just floating in the bottom corner. Barton started him because Pittman said he wanted to start and see how it would go. Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping Barton don't make any changes and keep in the same starting 11 that played second half. I mean, we will get into our starting 11s and what we would play soon. Good thing you didn't go. The atmosphere was honestly tragic. Yeah, I mean, I did want it to go. I did want it to tick it off, but but yeah, obviously, I was going to say as well. What does Barton sort of need to? Obviously, we've talked about Barton, but hopefully now, and obviously you'll probably agree, he just needs to. He needs to try and find that the same team Dunny to start in obviously without suspensions and injuries, but he just needs to keep it simple now. Like, don't you think?
I think any decent side, no matter what division, you've got to have 1, 2, or 3 different ways of playing. So I think you probably will see throughout the season that he will jink from a 4-2-3, probably in games, to suit what is being matched against him. I mean, when we had Clark in charge, it was a different game was a different project, and when it's going right, everything says it's the right thing to do. And then when you don't win 2 on the spin, it's why'd you change a winning team? Sometimes you can't win. I think he has. I don't want to like sing his praises too much, Barton, because he has got faults, and but sometimes you've got to give credit where credit's due. Like I said, Saturday identified something, changed it, and it worked. When the simplest thing would have been was to just throw Collins on like for like, and he went the other way. I do think he's gonna. I don't think it'll ever happen, but if we did have a fully fit squad where everyone was fit, he's got a problem, because you got Coots, you got Whelan, you got Evans, you got Finley. There's 4 off the top of your head that has to play in free midfield. So there's going to be people that are going to be having to scrap for their places. So on one hand, that's good. On the other, I think Trevor Clark coming back's massive for us as far as playing that 5, because we've got a fully fledged left wing back there that can slot in there and do his thing, as long as he don't lose his head every week and start swinging for people. But I know what you're saying as far as you have to keep it simple, but on the other hand, you have to keep your opposition guessing a little bit as well. You can't keep going into every single game doing the same thing, because like I said, every game's a new project, so to speak, and every team has a different threat. So I do still think you're going to be looking at sides at 2:00 going, I ain't sure about that. But again, I think he's one of these that he's quite happy to start with what he's got, and if it means that into half an hour we'll change our shape and the way we do things. If he's implemented that at the quarters, and he keeps doing it with them and drilling them, if this situation occurs, we do this. If this situation occurs, we do that. If he's meticulous in that and the players are buying into it, I don't mind seeing different stuff every week. as long as there's a rationale behind it, not just what I saw previously, like, you know, the Newport game was there's 6 attacking players, just go and play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't the case, but it just looked that way. I think Saturday they set the standard of what you expect now.
Mm-hmm.
They can be dogged, they can dig in. Like I said on the Wednesday, sides like Newport and sides like Harrogate, you've got to win the fight first. You've got to earn the right to go and do the nice stuff.
Yeah.
And too many times this season, we've just gone and tried to play nice stuff and not really earn the right to go and win the ball, win the second ball, you know, and do the dirty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone thought we was going to kick on after Oldham, but they was a pub team, to be honest. And even then, we didn't look great second half. We still looked like, you know, we could have done without half time coming against Oldham because we was flying at them, but we were still wide open. If they'd have caught, like, I remember Nicky Adams having a chance, like, on the hour that could have levelled it. You know, we were still wide open. But now we're sort of getting a bit of balance, I think. Like, the away games we've had today, we've been good in the last 4. Just got to try and turn this home form around.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's sort of always mix and match with Rovers. There's either doing really good at home, but like I remember a few years ago, we was out, like, even obviously I know last year in the half of the season before we was awful away, but there was a few years before that, like the times where, you know, when we got relegated to the conference and like when we had like O'Toole and that team, like then I remember the away form was always shocking, and then the home form was really good, and now it's sort of changed around a bit because there's always a lot of, especially at home, and you know, with Rovers and the fact that obviously, you know, the fans and, you know, and rightly so, if we're not playing well, they can turn on the team quickly, whereas now we're unbeaten in four away in the league, looking very, very solid compared to obviously the other games, you know, away, which was the Exeter game, which obviously was one to forget, where every time they went forward, we looked like we was going to concede. But now we're looking a lot more solid, and you know, we're linking up more and having sort of a system to work by. Whereas now the home form is the problem. You know, way too easy to play against, and you know, conceding goals. So we just need to find that consistency, especially. And now is a good time with, obviously, like everyone knows, with the fixtures coming up. You know, we got Northampton, Tranmere, Port Vale, big away game against Salford as well coming up. But obviously it's going to be interesting. But now is the time we need to sort of try and, you know, kick on and, you know, cement and show people, you know, why, you know, we want to go up or get in a good position, sort of thing. But yeah, Tom makes a good point here, saying the highlights are just Rovers shots on goal. The less Belly has to do, the better. Exactly. That's what I mean. That's another good thing is the fact that he didn't really have to do much. Just a few times he had to make some P-roller saves and come out and collect the ball. But that's a good sign, and that's what we need to see, really. Mitch saying we've had a lot of injuries go against us so far. Yeah, we have. But you know, it's part and parcel of football. You know, we just got to try and also suspensions. We've had quite a few either 5 yellows or red cards for stupid, especially that Colchester. I mean, Harry's, you know, that's iffy, but the stupid one, obviously me and you was there seeing it, where he just hit the bloke just straight away and been on.
The Harry's one wasn't even iffy, mate. That's bollocks. He should never have gone for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's some rest for you. I mean, to be honest, I haven't seen that one yet. I think it was a Newport game, wasn't it? I don't really want to watch that back because we were terrible, but I will give it a watch. I know he's really good YouTuber. He does a lot of ground hopping videos, and he is class, to be fair. Mitch Shen, I'm looking forward to seeing Finley back. Bloke seemed to keep going like Sinclair used to for us when Clark was there. Yeah, exactly. With him as well, his quality, he's sort of been inconsistent with him, and injuries. Then he got back in the team. Then he got, because I completely forgot, because we was there doing the, you know, our teams, and I was like, yeah, play Finley. I didn't even realize he was suspended. Because thing is with Rovers, there ain't really as much news as there used to be. Like with other managers, you always used to say injuries or suspensions, but Barton, even he didn't even say like what players last week, what players were fit, and other stuff. So you don't really know until the lineup comes out at 2 p.m. who's playing and who's available. Jacksford 8 says, I'm surprised Smith gave us 2 stars for facilities, food and drink. I was in the Thatchers, no food at half time, all gone, no hot water for the Bovril and toilet next to the food stand lot. Yeah, I know. Yeah, very surprised. Bit of a shambles. Big up to Penguin as well. Go and check him out. Does FPL content. I was on his channel the other day. Go subscribe to him. Cameron Mitchell says, hopefully Anthony can work. Yeah, Anthony's back as well. What's your thoughts on that? I'm pretty buzzing to see him back in a really good role as well. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about what he did at Swansea, how well he did, or who he brought through, and how much involvement he had with what went through with that first team. But he's obviously gone away and got a bit of pedigree about him, and he's come back and familiar, knows the people, knows the ground, knows the place, so should be a good fit.
Yeah. I think at Swansea there was quite a few players, because they're a team to a lot of teams to bring the youth up. There's been quite a few that's come through the academy there, and they've either sold them on or they're still there. So yeah, hopefully he does do a good job. Sam Moore, even to you, Pittman is ruled out for Oxford. What will be our strikers? Because I thought Nicholson, I think, lacks a bit of confidence, and I think Collins needs someone up next to him. To be honest, that's what I think. That's what I think the front two will be. I think he'll play because Saunders. I'm not again. I really want to see him back. We miss him a lot. His running, and he likes to get in behind and stuff like that. But if I think Saunders, he could be back on the bench. I don't have a clue. Depends on Barton and how Saunders is feeling. But I think it will be Collins and Nicholson. I think it worked all right, the Thomas one, but I think against Oxford, I know obviously different people have their opinions on the FA Cup and stuff like that. But for me, I would play Collins and Nicholson, because I think we need a little bit of height there, because depends on who Oxford play, but if they play the same back two as the last time we played them, they've got like a 6'7" centre back. I think his name's Moore. So, but we will see what happens. Yeah, BRC Tom saying we need Saunders back ASAP. Best player at our club. Fair enough. To be fair, I really like him, to be honest with you. Vaughan says, back to the Don Megson years, solid at home and struggle away, other than the 8-2 win at Brian Clough's Brighton. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even born then, but yeah, it's like that in it, with the consistency of home and away, and obviously it will be, it's always different depending on what season. I'm not sure when we get Saunders back. We'll have to wait and see. Looking forward to seeing Grant back. Yeah, but I mean, like we talked about, and Barton seems to favour him in a. Well, obviously he did used to play centre back, Josh Grant. But it should be interesting, because obviously we spoke about it, I think last week and a few other times, and obviously you said, and obviously what Barton rolled over about, saying about the Grant will play in the centre back role. So that's going to be a bit. It's going to be interesting, because me, I'd love to see him and Finley and Whelan in midfield, but it looks like Barton will play him either right back or centre back. So, and obviously, me personally, I don't want to see that, but obviously you said, didn't you, as well? You think he'll be playing him in defence by the sounds of what Barton's saying.
I think when everyone's up and running and fit, you won't see Grant playing in midfield for us again. I don't think he'll be playing either right back or right hand side of the three. But you say right hand side of the three, but at the minute, them three lads at the minute look like they're doing okay, to be honest. Like I said, best performance again Saturday when Kilgore will come on. He probably had his best performance of the season. So he's going to have options. If they all do get fit at the same time, he's going to have plenty of options. It's just about making sure that he's not playing people for the sake of playing them, so to speak, to keep them happy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And it is going to be interesting when we, like you said, because we haven't had a fully fit full squad for selection, and it will be very interesting to see what he does. But yeah, if you haven't already, there is 27 people in. Please do hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 30 likes during the live stream. Mitch is saying that we get Robin back too. Again, I like Robin, and I've always think he's been a very, very consistent player for us. But with his age and injuries, I don't think you'll see him playing when he gets back. Before we do though, thanks for the super chat. Big up Charlie Webb. That's class of you. Really appreciate it. $8.99. Big up to you as well. Keep smashing the support. But what is your thoughts on Robin? Do you see him playing for Rovers again, or do you think he'll just be gone at the end of the season and won't play anymore when he comes back?
I mean, what's the target date for him? It's about February, isn't it? It's a fair way away before he's even going to get back. So even when he gets back and he's technically fit, he still ain't going to be match fit. He's still going to have loads of work to do. I think it all depends on how we're going as a side to see what happens with Rodman, to be honest. If he, like you said, if we haven't spoke about Rodman yet, but if we get all them lads back fit already, he's got it all to do to even get in that squad. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's just a matter of seeing how it goes with Rodman. Again, he might, with his age, he might break down in his recovery.
Yeah.
So it's just a wait and see thing. I think you just rule out Rodman for the time being and wait for the physios to come back and say, do you know what? He's making progress. He's not too far away, and then reassess it then. But at the minute, you just, with the greatest respect, just forget about Rodman until, time comes where he's getting anywhere close to being fit.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because it is a bit of a weird one, wasn't it, as well? Like a broken foot in training. Obviously, it's gutting really because, as I said, I do like Robin, and he's always, obviously his pace now is going to be low. But even last season, I thought when he played, he looked very solid. I remember, and he scored a lot of vital goals for us as well since he's been at us, the last few years. I remember that cracker he scored against Accrington at home last season as well when he cut in on his left. But yeah, I think with his age now and injuries and stuff, I think he'll be released in the summer. But he has done really well since he's been at the club under 4 or 5 different managers or however many people we've had. Big up to Yambi Sims as well for tuning in, saying 8 weeks in the January transfer window opening. Where do you think we need strengthening? That's a very good question, actually. And obviously that links into this question as well from Sam Moore saying if Rovers could bring in one player, be realistic, who would you choose? So what areas, I know we've got a lot of players and like we said, we'll wait and see, but what areas for you would you strengthen? And also everyone leave in the comments, leave your thoughts. What few positions would you strengthen in January? But yeah, what do you think, Neil? What positions would you strengthen?
I mean, the two that stand out for me, you need a back to goal number 9 to back up for Pittman because Clark's gone now. As far as I'm concerned, you won't see him again. You need to, and they're few and far between. Where you get one of them, where you get a decent one that's available in January is like they're like bloody gold dust. Yeah. So who do I think we should go and get? I wouldn't know where to start with that at the minute as far as drawing up a short list. The other one that I think we could do with is finding a right wing back / right back for cover because I just don't think. I think right back wise, when Grant gets fit, he'll go in there. You've got Luca Hall as cover, but as far as wing back, I can't see Grant being a wing back, and I don't see Luca Hall being anything other than a fullback at the minute. I mean, he's got a long way to go to develop to being able to master 2 positions. He's got to nail down that right back thing first. Nicholson's not an out and out wing back. He did all right Saturday. I mean, I hated seeing him at right back. That's one place I don't want to see him.
No.
But at wing back, like when we've got the ball and we're forward thinking and we've got decent patterns of play, he's good for us.
Yeah.
it's going the other way that we have a problem with Nicholson, and that's not his fault. It's just not his game. He's being put there to do a job, and I've spoke to you about how frustrated and fed up he looks at times.
Yeah,
because it's not what he's about. It's not what he wants to be doing. It's not his game. But he's doing a job at the minute. So they're the two that stand out for me. As far as being able to give you names, I wouldn't want to jump on anything at the minute. Like I said, it's few and far between. Like January's a hard market anyway. Like to try and find anyone decent, it's normally loans from academies or players that ain't in form, just trying to get a kick somewhere from a division above where they're just getting no joy whatsoever, going elsewhere, or players that have shown stinking attitudes, but people are desperate to get something, So I wouldn't panic or rush just to get anyone. I don't think Barton would do that, to be honest. I think if you look at them lads, especially Saturday, they're right in it with each other, and they're fully behind him, and they've got a good group. And I think morale's all right considering the results we've had. They look like a pretty tight-knit group together. So I don't think he'd just go and bring in anyone from anywhere on a whim anyway. But they're the two that I'd look at trying to strengthen those areas.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like a lot of people are agreeing with Matt's as well. Time for Collins to step up. It's just so annoying because he's so low on confidence. Even when he come on, he should have had an assist, even a goal, and he just made the wrong decision when we counter-attacked at the end. But he is trying, but I don't know what to do because it's annoying because I like him and I like his work rate, but it's just he just needs a goal and it's just not happening for him. So I'm hoping he can get one on Sunday. I wasn't going to say Saturday, but it's on Sunday, isn't it? I hoping he can get one on Sunday against Oxford, but we'll have to see. And if it carries on, then I don't know what's going to happen. But I just hope he can grab one, like you said last week, off his ass, off his ear, off his head, wherever. Just try and get a goal. Even if he plays. Even in that Papa John's thing on next Wednesday against Exeter, even then, just try and get something. Yeah, Sam Moore bringing up Tishamanga, the Chesterfield forward. He used to play for Bournemouth, I think. Ex-MK Don striker. He's on fire at the minute for Chesterfield. I think he's got like 12 or 13 goals. And, maybe, I'm not sure... Obviously, Barton was at Fleetwood when he bought Saunders, I think, from a much lower division. So maybe he could try and grab him, but it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of clubs, League One, even a lot of League Two clubs, maybe even a Wrexham. Maybe they might go after him, but he could be a very good option. Depending on, I doubt they're going to want much for him. Maybe 150, 200k, but. I'm not sure, but that's a very good choice.
Yeah, but you've got to look at how Chesterfield are going at the minute, and are they going to be okay with losing him? Because they're going to have a right go at this year.
Yeah.
You either take the money and hope you can keep going, or say, do you know what, we're going to keep hold of him and hope to get us up. It's going to be if someone comes in from it, we stick a twist situation for Chesterfield because he's a massive part, of them winning games. So
yeah.
I can't. He's not that. I think he would score goals at League Two. I'm not doubting that. But as far as that, he's not in the same mould as Clark. If you know what I mean. Yeah, he's more of an off-the-shoulder live wire.
Yeah. He's completely different. He's like, but it's weird because I was watching the highlights. I don't know why. To be honest, I try and watch as many leagues like. League One, League Two, Conference, whatever, all the highlights. And I was watching the highlights show, and it's just the ways. Because I remember him when he was at MK Dons, he didn't really get a chance. To be honest with you, they hardly give him a chance. But the games I've seen of him, he was so skinny and lightweight. But now he's built like mad, and he's obviously bulked himself up, and he scored a load of goals at Bournemouth over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and obviously a bigger team has got him, and he looks a right player now. But like you said, he's he is completely different though to what we've got. He's sort of like that Swindon, that Swindon striker that had about
Lump,
four.
it's 19.
Yeah, Simpson, I think his name is the one. He's sort of like him. He's built up like him and got a lot of pace and stuff. But we'll see. BRC Tom makes a. I seen this on Twitter because he got released. Brighton Ebekare. He used to be at Coventry on loan. He played against us a few times back in League One under Clark, and he very fast, very good on the ball, great dribbler. Hasn't had the sort of best and not a lot of games under his belt, but then I think he went over to like India. He went over to India, done really well, come back, and they signed him back Coventry this summer, but then they got rid of him. So it's either injury. I've heard from a few Coventry fans that his attitude is disgusting, but he's got talent. But Will Barton maybe could go in for him, but he's not. He's sort of like a winger, really. He's not really a striker, but it should be interesting to see what happens. I think the Barton, and people at the club will know what we want and probably try and get a short list of players or players on a free or players on loan, like we nearly did with that Archer, who's absolutely balling for for Villa, and he's scored against Chelsea. I think he's got in cup games and Checker Trade trophy games for Villa under 21s in the first team. He's got like 9 or 10 goals. So that was gutting that we couldn't get him. But after his hat trick, he was never going to leave. I think he was always going to get a bit of a chance. Yambi Sim saying, I still think we should have kept hold of a younger. Yeah, I do as well. What's this? Ben Liddell scored a hat trick on the weekend for Queen of the South. Did he actually? Or is he joking?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Did he? Ben Liddell scored a hat trick. I mean,
it would have been all over the place. If he'd have scored a hat trick, you'd have seen it everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Sam saying, to me, we need to get rid of players to bring in people. Yeah, I mean, probably right there. But who would, the players in this squad now? Who would we get rid of? Or because I don't think Barton's going to be like. Because what he could do, I'm not saying he's going to do it, but what he could do, he could say, cancel the contracts of players. But he's already done that a lot in the summer, didn't he? There's like 5 or 6 players where they just tore up the contracts. Like, can you see him doing any of that?
You do that, you still got to pay them up. Still money out the door, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You don't tear it up and then they go away for nothing. So, I mean, the only one who looks like he's definitely not getting anywhere close to it at the minute is Hargreaves. He's just not. He's not featuring anywhere close. So if anyone's going to go out the door, I can see him go into maybe a National League side, perhaps, I don't know, connections with Torquay, with his dad, somewhere like that. I don't know. But because the injuries have had, everyone's sort of had a look in, bar him. So we've got lads out on loan for a month here and there now. We've brought back Walker, but he's not featured since. So it's hard to say what he's going to do. I think he was caught between a bit of a tough one, really, with the injuries and the suspensions we had. Lads finishing their month loan spell, and now he's got a massive squad with players coming back from suspension and injury, and the loan players coming back. So I think you'll probably see towards the end of November people sort of filtering back out on loan, I'd have thought.
Yeah, it's going to be a good thing to sort of keep an eye on and stuff. Angus saying should have kept Hanlon. I think he just
didn't want to be here.
Say that again, sorry?
No point, didn't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuck with a bloke who don't want to be at work. So, the best thing to do is for him to get him gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. He, Barton was saying that he wanted to move back home, like so his mum could cook him dinner and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's if you got a player that, there's no point. He was there's a lot of people didn't want him anyway. Always used to fall over. I mean, he's doing all right at Wickham. But he's. But I tell you what, I seen him. He missed an absolute sitter on Tuesday when they lost 4-1 to Ipswich at home. Their first loss of the season at home. And he was about 3 yards out, and he's gone to hit it, like smash it, and it's just come off his shin and gone wide. It was a horrible miss, but he is doing all right there, to be honest. But I think it helps him because he's playing off 2 target men, isn't he? He's playing off Sam Vokes and Akin Fenwa. You know,
he never looked like an out-and-out 9 to me. He never looked like he was an out-and-out 9. You know, like someone like Pittman, who he doesn't have to look at where the posts are. He just knows. He's got that sense about him.
Yeah.
Hanlon never had that. I mean, he had good feet at times, you know, but he looked really leggy and unfit, and confidence wasn't there with it. And if you've got them 3 together as a combination, you've got a pretty shit player on your hands, really. So he was doing no good for us. He didn't want to be here come the end, so you know why keep him? You know what I mean? You just don't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just hindrance to you.
Matt saying by no means he's a 5-star centre back, but I think Harry's at the back makes a difference for us. Yeah, I mean, I think again he's a confidence player, isn't he? I think Harry's. I think when but you know, most of the games I've seen this season, you know, he looks a lot more confident in himself. I think that's because he's obviously getting played more. I think Barton has a lot of trust, especially with this sort of play out the back thing. He still does the long ball, but I'm seeing him do a lot shorter passes and just keeping it simple, which also helps, I think. Big up to Temporary Uford as well. Thanks for tuning in. Yambi Sim saying Hargreaves will go to Yeovil, was sat next to their manager and his dad at the Stevenage game. Yeah, even Yeovil, some local side like that. But getting into the Oxford game, we've talked a lot about obviously, but that was a good talking point though from a few people that brought that up. But yeah, getting into Oxford, obviously in the league they're doing very well, 6th in the league. Only lost 4 games, sorry. And obviously they've got a lot of, got Taylor, Bowden, even though Bowden ain't featuring much. And obviously good manager, even though I can't stand him, in Carl Robinson, another Scouser. So that should be interesting on the touchline. He's always sort of one to moan and, but, it's a derby game. Obviously FA Cup. First of all, what's your thoughts on the FA Cup and also on Oxford's season so far?
FA Cup. I love the FA Cup. Like, I think especially like the early rounds, when it gets into like the inevitability of like the quarters and the semis, I shrug my shoulders at it, to be honest. But I love the early rounds. You never know where you can go on an away day, things like that, who you're going to get. But that won't ring true with the side that I'd put out for Sunday. But Oxford, they had a sticky start, found their feet. They're going well now. They must have won at least the last 4, because I think they're scoring 2s and 3s every game.
Yeah, because they scored 6. They scored 6 in their last 2. They beat Morecambe at home 3-1. And they beat Burton away, who were doing well, and beat them away 3-1 as well. So it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, we played them, and obviously it's different in it. Even to be honest, even in pre-season, we were very lucky because they missed a lot. I think we won 3-2 when Pittman scored that worldie from like the halfway line, wasn't it? But to be even that game, we should have been probably 2 or 3 down if it wasn't for, I think it was Yakola playing goal at the time, or maybe Belshaw. But obviously in the league, we lost 2-0 both times last season. The away game, I remember we were terrible. Hardly put a glove on them. Hardly had any chances. Even the home game, we obviously went 1-0 down, but then we played quite well. But it was like that a lot of last season. We played all right, and then we couldn't finish. They would go down the other end, and I think it was Barker they scored on the counter attack. But obviously, a lot of good players, a lot of great squad depth as well. When you've got Bowden, Sam Winnell, Ryan Williams, who used to play at Portsmouth on the bench, they're gonna, no matter what team they put out, it's gonna be a very, very tough game. So yeah, quickly, we'll get on to the team lineups now. Obviously, anyone, it could be anything. We don't have a clue. I mean, I would say that, but we did have a streak, wasn't it, until last season? I think it was like 7 or 8 games where we beat them every game, and then of course it had to be this last season, the season we were terrible and got relegated, that we didn't win and didn't even look like scoring, to be honest. But yeah, shame it went Yate away. That's what I wanted. That'd have been good, local as well. But yeah, getting into, obviously, people in the comments, leave your thoughts on what you would play or what you think Barton might play, and then we'll get into the predictions in a sec. So yeah, what team and what lineup would you play, Neil?
Well, I said I love the FA Cup, but to be honest, with the fixtures we got coming up in the league, I mean, Northampton, Tranmere, Forest Green, I'd toss it off, to be honest, on Sunday. I just think, I'd give lads that are coming back to fitness, coming back from suspension, and fringe players a game and just saying, go and stake a claim for trying getting this first teams. I don't want any more injuries, any more suspensions to key players. I mean, imagine we play Oxford Sunday, Nicholson or Thomas or I don't know, say Whelan breaks down because he's played so many games, Finley gets another, not anything like that. I just think we could do without it. I mean, like I said, I do like the FA Cup, but we got bigger fish to fry elsewhere, I think, at the minute. So what I'd set up with is a side full of fringe players or lads that need minutes, and saying, just go and show me what you can do. Make a stake a claim. If you're hungry enough to get in this side, show me, and then what will be on Sunday. If we get a result, great. If we don't, ain't the end of the world.
Yeah, but it's just tough because, I mean, I think there could be plenty of changes in sort of midfield and the striker role. Maybe he chucks Sion Spence on. Well,
is he cup tied?
No, he's not cup tied.
Okay.
Because he joined us straight away, didn't he? So he hasn't played any.
But will Palace let him? I mean, Palace letting him play in the FA Cup for us?
I should imagine so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I can't really see him getting. I can't see him getting anywhere near their team when he goes back. The way they're doing with Vieira this season.
He ain't getting anywhere near ours at the minute.
No. I mean, and he got called up again, didn't he? As well for the Wales team. But quickly got a lineup here for Mats. Belshaw, Kilgore, Taylor, Harries, Anderson, Finley, Whelan, Clark, Sion Spence, Luke Thomas, Aaron Collins. I mean, pretty strong team. There ain't really many players that, apart from Spence and Trevor Clark, that are weak. That's pretty full strength. So he obviously wants to do well in that. Because Barton usually doesn't like it, does he? I remember when he was at Fleetwood, he just made 10 or 11 changes, lose 2-0 or whatever, and go out. But Yambi Sims has got another one. Ward, Hall, Martinez, Taylor, Brown, Whelan, Grant, Evans, Spence, Collins, Nicholson. That's interesting. But yeah, what would you go for?
I'd go with, like I said, I'd go with Jeb Ward in goal. I'd go with a back three. I'd play Anderton again. I'd play Kilgore in the middle of them, and I'd play Josh Grant at the right-hand side, the centre half. Coming back to fitness, needs minutes. FA Cup's perfect for him, I think. I play Trevor Clark at wing back, needs minutes. I play Luca Hall at right wing back, just to fill out, because we ain't got no one else there, and I don't want to play Anderson. I just think he's played enough at the minute, and we've got all these vital games coming up. Leave him out. I play Coots and Finley as a screen. Coots needs minutes still. Finley's coming back. Let Whelan stay at home, put his feet up, rocking chair. I'd play, if he's available, I'd play Spence in there in front of him. And then I'd play Aaron Collins, keep playing him, keep persevering with him, trying to get his goal, put him on penalties, whatever. And I'd play Walker up with him.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty interesting, to be honest.
Because then you've got a bunch of players at need minutes, hungry to get in the side, want to show something. I've got a point to prove. And then you can just litter your bench with, the likes of, Hargreaves or whoever else that you can find that doesn't desperately need to be there, can stay at home,
Yeah.
So like the likes of Whelan, he's going to have a tough running coming up, that bloke, because we're going to need him. So just leave him be, leave him to recover. And the same with Anderson, played a lot of minutes recently. Leave him to recover. The two up top with Nicholson and Thomas, don't risk them. Going to need them desperately. Like I said, I think these next 4 fixtures in the league are far more a pressing priority than this one game in the FA Cup against Oxford.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Me, I would, like you said, go with the wing backs. Formation with 3 at the back. I'd be the same. I'd play Ward in goal, give him a chance. The games he has played in for us, he's in the cup games, he's been unbelievable. Some of the saves I've seen have been quality. So, yeah, Jed Ward in goal. Back 3 is interesting. It depends if Grant's fit. I mean, obviously us now, we don't know what if Grant's going to be back or not. So without him being available, I'll stick with Connor Taylor. I know we don't want him injured, but I think he'll play in the middle of the 3. Anderton on the left, Kilgore on the right, Luca Hall on the right wing back, Clark left wing back. In the middle, probably Coots and Finley, like you said. And then I would go same as you, Spence in behind, and play Collins and Walker. Why not? Give him a chance. Still keep the back 5 pretty solid, but I think just go there and sort of play sort of youthful attack and try and hit them. Give them a chance, see how much they want to get back in.
They've got nothing to lose, have they? You put a side like that out and just send them out and say you've got nothing to lose. Just go and express yourself. Yeah. You come off second best, so be it. We got a league campaign that needs to get looked after first and foremost.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not going to be. It's not going to be, it's because it's just one of those games, isn't it? It'd be nice to win, but like you said, we're playing a team on form, 6th in League One, very good squad, doing well. So just play players that need minutes, and like you said, go and let them express themselves. But getting onto the score prediction, quickly get a comment here from Tom Butler. Said I wouldn't be too upset if we lost as long as we don't get thrashed. The league is our bread and butter, but it's important to give players minutes. Yeah, agree. Angus saying need to have the best back 4 so the snake can score. I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, if he scores or not, I mean, that's just football. He's already, scored two goals against us last season. So, but yeah, getting into the score predictions, we've already had one. Mitch saying 2-1 Rovers. Liking the positivity. Matt saying I like your thinking, Angus. But yeah, hit the like as well if you haven't already. Let's get over 30 likes. But yeah, Neil, start off with you. What score are you predicting?
It's hard to say, innit? I mean, I don't know what we're going to put out. I've got no idea how Oxford are going to approach it. I mean, if they play Taylor, James Henry, Brannigan, like players like that, then we're in for a right tough day because he might go into it, Robinson, and think, do you know what, I'm going to keep this momentum. We've won 4 on the spin or whatever, and I'm just going to keep us ticking over like this. And if he does that, then if we put our best side out, it's going to be an hard day regardless. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you weigh it up logically, and we play an all right team, and their all right team beats our all right team, because that's just the way it is with them being a League One side. So, I think law of averages, if we go and play them anyway at our best, we could probably come off second best anyway. So I'd say, yeah, probably, I don't know, 2-0, get beat 2-0, and so what? That's the way I look at it. Yeah. It's an inconvenience for me with the fixtures we got coming up. We've just won on the road against Harrogate. We got like I said, Northampton's a bigger game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one, but to be honest, I think it's going to be Oxford with most of the ball anyway. But I think, and it always happens with Rovers. I mean, usually we play easier teams in the first round, like we've had your Crawleys and other teams as well, and overall, even with however well we've done, our FA Cup record is pretty shambolic anyway. But I think I think we'll draw. I think it'd be 1-1. And I don't want it to be a draw because I don't really want to play again. I just want to focus on the league like you and a lot of other Rovers fans. But yeah, I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1. I'll go with Collins to score a penalty, and I'll go with Bowden to score. But yeah, I'll say 1-1. Then we'll get a replay. But yeah, we got Matt saying 1-1 as well. Yanby Sims saying 2-1 Rovers get Yate in round 2. Yeah, I mean it would be nice. I've played there a few times at Yates Ground, and yeah, it would be nice. But I'm not, it'd be nice for a bit of confidence to win. But like you said, it will be a very, very tough game no matter what team Oxford put out, because the strength and depth they've got is pretty mad. But it would be nice to beat them. I hate Oxford, but like you said, we need to focus on the tough games coming up in the league. Northampton is the next one. Tranmere, Port Vale, Forest Green, Salford away. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if anyone else has got their prediction, get them in the comments as well. But yeah, you've gone for 2-0. I've gone for 1-1. It's interesting because I had a lot of people, especially like when I posted the link, on like Facebook, like I do with my videos. A lot of people were like sort of saying that I'm so negative, especially that the Harrogate preview. They were like, I'm really negative, but it's like before the Harrogate game, what sort of confidence?
There was nothing to suggest that performance was going to come from anywhere. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, that performance shocked me as much as it did everyone else. I mean, it was exactly what I was crying out for. Like I said, I don't care how we get a result. I don't care if it's. I'll pay money to watch us play shit as long as we win games. I don't care what it looks like. Like, I was more than happy with what Coughlin served up. Wasn't great to watch. He was sat fourth in the league. That'll do me. You couldn't see it coming from anywhere, but I'm delighted we've got it because it shows, like I said, that's the standard now. They should have gone into training on that Tuesday and gone, right, this is where we start from now. Our season starts now because we know we've got that performance in us. There's no reason why we should be wide open, get run past, get outrun, get outfought, or anything like that now, because we basically did what Harrogate have done to get results, to get them up to the playoff places, and we were better at what they did. So there's no, we just got to get a result at home and turn that round. But I was more than happy with what I saw Saturday. Like I said, I thought it was performance of the season. It wasn't nice to watch, but I liked seeing us winning second balls and doing the ugly stuff and being bang basic. Oh, there's nothing on in the minute. So Harry's just pops it around the corner and gets them facing their own goal. It's the simplest thing in the world. But if you do the basics right in League Two, you'll get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And because it was funny, like people saying that I was negative, but if you go and watch, if you haven't already watched my League Two predictions, honestly, I was probably one of the most positive people saying that we were going to flip and win the league. So now I'm trying not to have high expectations, because even last year I thought, mid-table, we go and get relegated. This season, we still got enough time to get in the playoffs. Even I think top 3 would be hard, but at least playoffs. But there's no point of now for me just saying, we're gonna win that game 3-0. We're gonna win the league, because it just get let down, and it's just. But hopefully now we've turned the corner. we can get a consistent run. Mitch saying Bowling, a quality player, showed, yeah, he was, and that's the thing is, I'm sort of gutted for him because obviously he deserved the move to Preston, but he had his best part of his career was at Rovers. The amount of goals, assists, how he would get fans off their seat. But I'm sure he'll get an excellent reception as well, of course. Tom Butler saying Oxford 3, Rovers 1. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, if Oxford go, like you said, if Cole Robinson thinks, we scored 6 in our last 2, we're 6th in league, why not just only make 2-3 changes and just go at them and try and get, and keep confident, because they're on confident and they're doing very well. They're a very good team. So, but it will be interesting. Vaughan saying we're happier away from home. Exactly. We might, no pressures. We got no pressure. We're the underdogs.
But the pressure comes from us. The pressure comes from us in the stand. So if we're getting on our sides back and giving the manager pelters and all the rest of it, that's where the pressure comes from. So sometimes as a fan base, we got to look at ourselves a little bit, because if we go 1-0 down early, it's up to us really as a fan base to just wind it in a touch, because the reason these players are doing what they're doing at home is because they get a sense of the mood inside of that ground.
Yeah, exactly. There's, especially like we talked about earlier in the video, that the amount of pressure we always have, and fans getting on, when we start badly, and stuff. But you sort of got to expect that, when fans expect that, when we're at home and we're expected to do well, that's just life, isn't it? But
sides don't come and just roll over just because they're Bristol Rovers at home. Do you know what I mean? You've got to understand that there's 2 sides out there trying to do exactly the same things, and sometimes you've got to have a couple of different ways of going at it. So you ain't always going to go 1-0 up in the first 10-15 minutes and it'll all be rosy and everyone's singing an happy song. Sometimes you've got to be patient, and just wait for it to be ground out. Even at home, if we play like we did against Harrogate at home, and grind it out, be patient, do the right things, be simple. So what? Do you know what I mean? You can't have fans behind a goal getting ratty as hell after 20 minutes because we ain't 1-0 up. It don't work like that.
Yeah. Cameron Mitchell also saying, when's Button court case? Hopefully the board have a backup plan. I don't even have a clue. We haven't even heard it. I don't know. I haven't even heard anything about that in ages. So, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure, but whenever it is, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Bertie Tom saying 4-0 Rovers. You never know. We could keep a clean sheet and score 4 away, but and Mitch saying, like you said, the players you said and say give Barton a reason for them to pick in league games. Exactly. But yeah, we're going to end it now. We've been going just over an hour. Vaughan saying December the 16th. So yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, we're going to end it now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone getting involved, like I want to do as well, get people involved, and but yeah, thanks for smashing the support as always. Hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already as well. Obviously this preview was obviously today on a Thursday, but back to normal as of Wednesday. On a Wednesday it will be 7 p.m. So yeah, and obviously I might, because I'm not going to the game on Sunday, I might do like a sort of FA Cup little live thing on YouTube, maybe, if anyone wants to pop in and just, cover all the games, and obviously mainly the Rovers game, but I might just do that. But, just keep an eye out, obviously put notifications on. You'll see anything on my socials if I post anything, but I'll do, a reaction as always. But yeah, we will see you back on Wednesday for the other preview when we take on Northampton. But for now, take care and up the gas.